Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad, and today we're going to get right down to business because not only do we have another season to sim through, we have what I can only call a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's kind of weird to describe a player in those terms, but what other way can you really describe it? Frederick McDonough, medium franchise already. He could be high franchise, a defensive D-man who could very well be the savior of our team if we manage to not get screwed over by the draft lottery. Now, of course, the lottery has already screwed us out of a franchise-level player in the previous drafts. So, unfortunately, that's kind of how this series goes. That's one of the random factors that you can't account for. We got screwed over once, but we have a chance for redemption. We know we're going to be a terrible team. It's just a matter of waiting to see if we are going to lose the draft lottery. But again, I can only describe Frederick McDonough as the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that could help turn this team around. Now, as far as what this team looks like at the moment, I was looking at the comment section, and I decided that for this season, we are going to take a different approach. We are going with the full prospect squad. Every player that is, that hasn't been drafted by this team, Kerdiles, Tom Wilson, Delorier, they're all back down in the AHL. Our fourth line, though, is actually made up of 3 enforcers that we have on the team. So maybe expect the Gulls to have success. We have no defensive prospects there. Of course, we still have quite a few players in junior. And Brodin will be the goaltender alongside Henrik Lundqvist. Now, I can't make him the starter because auto-rotate is on, so it will make Hank the starter regardless. But Brodin will get some playing time this season down in the AHL. We have Justice and Mikola as the tandem at the NHL level. Of course, the defense is a little bit rough, but the top pairing is Kevin Ball with Steven Hines. Jack Alcock is with Dalton Galley, and Junior Hicketts is with Matty Solani. And of course, you would have seen the forward lines already as I dropped my controller. That is tremendous. Nolan Foote is with Jay Graves. Abraham Zanetti is on the right. Anderson McDonald, despite being a higher overall than Foote, has a slightly worse potential. So we're going to give Nolan Foote that time. I've also changed up a couple of the player types to better suit a player's attributes at the moment. Connor Roberts is just terrible offensively. So we switched him over to a grinder. We also have Larry Flynn, who was a 7th round pick, a steal, who can hopefully prove to actually develop throughout the course of the season. Anyway, I think we're good. That explains everything. I don't think I'm forgetting to showcase anything, aside from the fact that I did finally edit the strategies again. Is there any evidence that it actually does anything? No. But this is what we're going with as the lines progressively get more aggressive, we'll say, as far as energy, and we have them set the blocking. If it does anything, cool. That at least appeases you guys who think it does something. If it doesn't do anything, or for those of you who don't believe that it does anything, then, hey, it literally makes no difference anyway, right? I just wasted 30 seconds of my time. As far as captains, I just let the game decide it, and it gave it to Galley, Alcock, and Ball. I'm not going to change that until we can finally get this chemistry issue sorted. Aside from that, I think that pretty much covers everything. Let's get into the season sim. Of course, without having to worry about scouting and declining trade offers and waiver claims, we're going to breeze through the season yet again, barring a ton of injuries. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this team does, whether or not the locker room chemistry gets better, because obviously we're going to be a terrible team, but we don't have players on the team that expect to do well. Even someone like Ryan Reeves, who is a 4th liner, is still going to want to win games, whereas these players might not be as concerned about that, and for that reason, it might work out, as we immediately lose locker room chemistry. Never mind, we lose 3 straight games and locker room chemistry continues to decline. We also lose Jay Graves for a month. Not how we were looking to start this episode off, really, but it happened. Let's call up, I don't know, Gravac, or however the hell you pronounce his name. Let's call him up, I guess. Why not? And yeah, we'll just make him the top line center. That kind of worked out all right. He'll take Graves' spot. And then down in the AHL, because I don't want to have to sit here and change over a ton of lines, let's just give that top spot to Koivisto. Perfect. Let's move on. And we'll see how this team does. Apparently it's going to be a solid draft, which is good. We're going to need the chance to find some late round steals, as we do get our first win of the season, an overtime win. And Larry Flynn has broken his leg and is out until the new year. Holy hell. Well, I said injuries could derail this season. I think I jinxed us in that assessment. Holy hell. This has been probably the worst start that we really could have had. Goddamn. All right, so Tom Wilson is in. We're just going to keep their spots in the lineup the same. Just so I don't have to sit here and worry about changing things over. Not that it would be a big deal, but, you know, easy enough. Again, we're not going to be successful no matter what we do, so what's the point of putting a ton of effort into it, I suppose. So there we go. Those lines are good. Let's move on. We lost 8-0 to Ottawa in that game. 6 games into the season, we've already lost a player for a month, and we just lost Nolan Foote for the rest of this month. Good Lord. All right, I said we were going to breeze through this. No, we're not at all. Apparently. I am sorry, EA, for even assuming that we might make some solid progress here quickly. That is clearly not going to be the case. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right, so we'll fix the AHL lines here. And I don't know who the hell we're going to put in. This guy, I'm not going to pronounce his name because I'm just going to butcher it. You know what? I can go best lines there, and all of our players will still be in the lineup anyway, so it works out. The only thing I have to do is take out Casimir Kaskisuo for Brodin, who has 2 starts already. I was able to catch that before it switched over. So he's getting game time, which is good. Although you'd expect the Gulls to be doing maybe a little bit better given the talent that is on that team. I swear I thought that was going to be another injury. Thankfully it isn't. Damn. All right, so Nick Kerdiles, you gots to go. We're going to bring Nolan Foote back. And let's go ahead and send Kerdiles down. We'll see if he makes it. I don't know if he will. He did. Nice. Locker room interactions, right, okay. So, I mean, clearly, you know, I finally went back and double-checked. We absolutely did leave the morale on, which was proven to be a mistake. And I know the reason. It finally clicked when I was looking in the comment section of the last video. It finally clicked as to why I left the morale system on. I finally remembered. And that would be because I didn't want to, you know, be able to play everyone out of position. I wanted it to be a factor like in the last Draft to Glory, where, you know, say we had an extra third line guy and he wasn't happy playing fourth line minutes, that is when we would do the 1-for-1 trade, the pick for player. That's when that would factor in, which, you know, as a result, has really screwed us over this time out. But that's okay. That's okay. We're still managing it. We don't really have to worry about losing anybody because of the RFA factor. So we should be okay. We're going to send down Gravak, or however the hell you pronounce his name. I'm going to butcher it every time. I don't think he cleared waivers, which is all right, all things considered. He absolutely did not. So he's out of here, which is the best news he's heard in the past couple of seasons as we beat Montreal 5-4. Back-to-back wins. Can you believe it? 5-4 over Montreal and 4-3 in the shootout over the Buffalo Sabres. So a fairly successful trip against Atlantic Division opponents. We beat Minnesota 5-2 as well. I should have said at the start of the episode, guess how many wins you'd think we'd have given what this team is. I don't know if I would have expected 4 wins all season, though. I got to admit, that is quite shocking as Big Reg goes down to injury as well. So let's call up, I don't even know here, because I don't want to ruin the morale of one of these players, you know, one of our 3 enforcers at the bottom, you know, by calling them up and then immediately sending them back down. So let's go with Matt Martin, because I'm not afraid to lose him to waivers, obviously. And Tom Wilson's still in this lineup, too. So there we go. Put Matt Martin in on the 4th line. And we'll go best lines again. Down in the AHL, go over to goalies and take out Casimir Kaskiswo. Beautiful. Brodin's already up to a 60, by the way. So that is some solid progression so far. We get another win. 5-14 on the year now. The only really solid player that we have, quote-unquote solid player, in the lineup would be Tom Wilson and Hines on defense, of course. So we're looking good. We're doing better than I would have thought. We get another win to end the year, and then Kelly Downing goes down to injury. Not quite what we were looking for. Do we have someone that we can put into the lineup? Big Reg. All right, so we're going to take out Matt Martin. Actually, let's just go best lines for the moment. Let's just set this up as I would have set it up previously. So Primo needs to be on the right. Tokarski needs to be on the left. And we're looking all right. I'm going to put Zanetti up on the top line. I'm still going to play Tom Wilson on the 2nd line. Could play him on the 3rd, but Primo and Chung, we don't exactly need to make sure that they have that high-end ice time. It's not a necessity. There we go. So that's solid. The defense, we can just go best lines. It doesn't matter, and goaltending is good. So Downing and Flynn are still out injured. As, of course, we got the notification Chung was back. We already knew that. And then he's hurt again. Boy, Big Reg. Big Reg is having a rough go of it so far this season. Poor guy cannot stay healthy. Let's call up Kurdiles, I guess. It doesn't matter, really. We'll just have to fix the lineups again. So, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I said that this might go quickly. That is not the case. Not at all. So let's fix this yet again. And you know what? Let's actually drop that trio. At least these two down to the 4th line. I still want to play Tom Wilson on the 2nd line so that he doesn't get upset about his ice time. We can play Tokarski on the right. That's fine. It's not a complete necessity to have lefties on the left and righties on the right. Defense is good. Goaltending's good. We'll go best lines here. Take out Kaskiswo again. How many times have we had to do this already? This is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, we beat Minnesota. We've had some rough injury luck in the past. I don't know if it's ever been this bad as Kelly Downing returns from injury. Nolan Foot's up to a 74, which is solid. And we need to send somebody down. It's going to be Matt Martin, just because. As he clears waivers, no real surprise there. Let's go best lines again. Yes, indeed. Worth it, though. Worth it to make sure that these players are getting their proper ice time. So that's all good. And then AHL, we'll go best lines again. We have our trio in the lineup. Only guy scratched we have to worry about, say it with me now, is Brodin. At least this gives me the excuse to say the name Casimir Kaskiswo as much as possible. I am quite happy about it, I gotta admit. I'm not happy about Jack Alcock going down to injury, though. Not happy. Damn. This is harsh, EA. Like, man, what did I do to deserve this? So many injuries. I'm actually going to call up Riley Bruce because he's not currently in the lineup for the AHL. So this way I'll only have to go best lines at the NHL level. Which will actually give Riley Bruce quite a bit of playing time, but I am okay with that. Let's swap all of these guys around again. Wow, by default, it drops Connor Roberts to the 4th line. That is pretty surprising, I got to admit. Billy Tokarski's in, and we're good. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Let's move on. Chung's... Wait, what? He's up. Really, EA? Is he in the lineup? Am I mistaken? Okay, he's already in the lineup. Good. Just damn. As I almost dropped my controller again. I don't know. It's just a theme for me today. Apparently. Can we get one more win this month? That's what I want to look for, as Connor Roberts was apparently not 100%. He is now, though, so, I mean, he was still in the lineup, so that's good. And there we go. We beat New Jersey 8-23. Not a single overtime loss so far. And there's another injury, Matty Solani. Before you say turn down injuries, I think the slider's on either a 5 out of 100 or a 9 out of 100, which you could also debate as to whether or not sliders have an effect on how the game sims. Along with strategies, does that affect the in-game sim? You would assume so. Actually, I'm quite sure it does. So really, the only thing we could drop it down to a 5 out of 100, or we could drop it down to a 1 out of 100, just to try and kind of, calm down EA with this, because this amount of injuries has been fairly ridiculous. As we need to, of course, call up a defenseman. So, Brendan Dillon, come on down. Point being, I'm a little bit surprised at how bad our luck is, and there's not really a whole hell of a lot we can do to change it, as the sliders are pretty much in our favor to begin with when it comes to dealing with injuries. So there we go. That's all set up again. AHL, we'll go best lines. Defense is fine. Let's go take out Kaskisuo, and we'll bring in Brodin. How's Brodin doing? Let's see. If I can hit the right button. Not well. Not well at all. Lundqvist is doing okay. Especially too, considering the team he is actually playing behind. Is Jack Alcock's back already? My God. We were basically through the season at this point the other night. Herdina and Hicketts are back. So send down a forward and send down a defenseman. Let's do that really quick. I thought we had one too many forwards in the lineup, to be honest. I wasn't entirely sure. So Kerdiles and Brendan Dillon will be sent down. I'll be a little bit surprised if Dillon clears waivers. He did. All right. Well, it's kind of a good keep for this team then. So I'm cool with that. And the lines are pretty much good to go. Just a couple of changes we need to make. Beautiful stuff. Flynn and Solani still the only injuries. We'll go best lines. We got to put in Gillies. And, of course, take out Kaskisuo. Oh, my God. There is not a chance that I don't run out of things to talk about and just resort to rambling. With this many stoppages, I mean, we're making progress, but not incredibly quickly like in the last episode. I am totally going to run out of things to talk about. Larry Flynn is finally back to 100%, which finally sees the end of Tom Wilson's time here with this team. How many games has he gotten to play? He has 18 points. He's a minus 16. He's played in 27 games. Good Lord. But there he goes, back down to the minors, stripped of his alternate captaincy. It's kind of weird the game gave him the captaincy by default. It gives Hines a letter, which I am okay with. So we got to swap you fellas around. There we go. Took me a second to figure out where everybody should go. Goaltending's good. Best lines in the AHL. I suppose it wasn't a necessity to do that, but we did it. And then we'll take out Koivisto for your favorite and mine, Gillies. We're good. We are back to not being 100% the second we get an injury in this game against the Islanders. Surprisingly not. Matty Solani is back to 100%. That is shocking. Can we at least get into the new year without injury? All right, cool. We can. We beat the Islanders, by the way, in overtime. 9 wins on the season. Will we hit 15? What do you think? Will we hit 15 wins by the end of the year? At this point, I'm gonna say our magic number. I'm gonna say 12. And we just lost Henrik Lundqvist as well. We can just have them put in Kaskisuo there for him. It'll still make Kaskisuo the starter by default. Brodin, of course, will still get some game time, though. So that's good. And let's see here. Can we hit 15 wins? Like I said, I'm thinking 12 is probably the max. Funny thing is, some of these guys, I mean, at least for the goals at the moment, things seem to be going pretty well, and then they immediately lose locker room chemistry. Never mind. See, I told you, as did the Ducks. That's tremendous. Anytime Oh, God, see, case in point. Anytime I talk about what's going on with our teams in a positive manner, we immediately run into trouble. Just immediately. It happens every single time. We have to call up a defenseman. It's going to be Jake Dotchin that gets the call. Brendan Dillon's still not all that happy about being sent down at a certain point. Let's go best lines again. Swap these guys around. Downing here, you go over there, you go here, and you go there. Beautiful. Of course, that's good to go. And then AHL, best lines. Brodeen's in by default. We just got to put in Gillies for Koivisto. And we're good. So what are we, like 20 minutes or so into this episode? Something like that. I mean, if we can get to the draft by the 40-minute mark, I'd be shocked at this rate. Just with the amount of injuries. It's just been bad luck. Hank is back. We'll go put him in, at least. I want Hank to have a chance at success this season. So we'll take out good old Casimir. Hank is back in, 39 years old. Would have sat on the free agent list if it wasn't for us. So you're welcome, Hank. And Jack Elcock is back to 100% as well, which means more editing of the lines. My favorite thing to do. So 1, 2, 3, and actually I got to send down Dotchin and Bruce. So someone was sitting who wasn't supposed to be because I forgot Riley Bruce was on this team. So that's unfortunate. Now Connor Roberts isn't happy about losing a friend. Oh no. Deal with it, son. It's a business. I got to do what's best for this team. I gotta do what's best for business. That's a WWE reference, folks. Alright, what do we got? That's good. Best lines. Take out Kasky again. Bring in Brodeen. I mean, at least it's down to the point where I can kind of clear this relatively quickly, you know? I mean, it's just repeating the same combinations over and over, so it's good. You know, it's all well and good. Can we hit 12 wins? Can we hit 15 wins? We just lost 12-1. Does that count? Losing to the Islanders by the score of 12-1. We get our 10th win of the year against the New Jersey Devils in the shootout. Shockingly, we still haven't lost in overtime. We have quite a few overtime and shootout wins this season, but we've yet to lose in overtime. We only lost 4-0 there, 4-1 to Nashville. We might be getting better defensively until we get killed by Vancouver here, right? Nope, instead, Nolan Foote will fracture his jaw. Jesus, like, is it because of the style that we're playing? Like, what is the deal with airline food? This is ridiculous. The amount of injuries that we're dealing with. Nick Kerdiles will get called up. And he'll actually play on the second line. Let's swap all of these people around. Nope, damn it, there was a little bit of menu lag. There we go. By the way, Big Reg up to a 60. We don't have any greens at the lineup at the moment, all yellows, but hey, we're getting there, right? Go best lines again, and we'll do the same old goalie swap. The same old. I need to find something to talk about. What the hell can I talk about? I don't even know. That's the problem. Hey, win number 11 against Vancouver. Jeez, my whole 12 wins max prediction might not be going all that well. It's tough in videos like this because, oh my god, it's I try to avoid, I guess, being topical. Because, I don't know, I don't like to necessarily date the videos because otherwise it'd be like, hey, the Bruins, Bergeron, 4-goal night last night, and like literally I'm been sitting here watching the playoffs and the NFL playoffs, and the Bills lost and the Saints just won, and now I'm watching Boston and Pittsburgh. It's on in the background while I'm recording this. It's tremendous, and Pittsburgh just scored. It's now 2-1, so there you go. I think Phil Kessel, the battle potato, got it. Why must you break my heart, Phil? See, I don't know, like, just because if someone's watching this months from now, or however long from now, you know, I mean, it's just very irrelevant information. That's all I'm saying. You get it? You dig? Good. Alright, again, let's swap all this around, although for the most part, it's pretty much good to go. Yep, that's good. AHL, Best lines. It has Riley Bruce in on offense. That's a very rough sign. Bring in Brodin, swap him for Lundqvist. It'll switch him back in a minute, but it's all well and good. 11-49 on the season. Beautiful stuff. And we get another win there against the Edmonton Oilers. Again, in the shootout. Nolan Foote is back to 100%. Let's go ahead and put him back in the lineup. We'll send down Matt Martin. I feel like I called him Paul Martin earlier. Every time I hear the last name of Martin in terms of like playing a hockey game, I always think of Paul Martin, and I always think of the line, Paul Martin's terrible. Which, I mean, I don't necessarily know if Paul Martin's terrible. He's not a Norris candidate, nor has he ever been, nor will he ever be, but I don't know if he's terrible. I feel like that's a little bit harsh. That's all I'm saying. Did I not mention earlier that there was no way we'd get through this without rambling? Because here we are. This is the rambling portion of the episode. Congratulations for making it this far. Appreciate it. Well, let's see how long it takes us to get to the postseason. There's our first overtime loss, and there's another injury. Mikkola goes down, so we'll call up... shit. We gotta call up Brodin. That's the only way to make sure that Justice is still the starter. So Marcus Brodin will get the call up. He'll be the tandem moving forward with Justice Anunen. I'm still never going to pronounce that right. I don't even really try anymore. But there you go. Marcus Brodin, welcome to the show. And Casimir Kasky-Swo, welcome to the B show. Congratulations. You actually get to play a few games. Although he would have gotten games. Jesus. All right, never mind. He's already back in the lineup. He's just now at 100%. There's another injury. Assistant coach, replace players. Save me some time, will you? I think that's the second fractured jaw we've seen this season. Mikkola's back to 100% after we beat the Buffalo Sabres 6-5. So that's good. Always good news to have a 100% healthy lineup. Brodin will be sent down. I am so sorry, sir. I didn't want to do that to you as far as like your morale goes, but really, I had no choice. Let's bring in Mikkola. AHL. We'll take out Casimir again. Sorry, buddy. You might not have actually gotten any ice time or any play time. And for that, I apologize. But we did get that win over Buffalo. We have 13 wins now on the season. Will we hit lucky number 15? That is the question. My God, Jesus, Beta's hurt. Jesus. 2-1 loss to Columbus. And Kurdiles goes down to injury. Whew. The amount of injuries. My God. Flynn, though, is back to 100%. So that's solid. Pittsburgh just made it 3-1, by the way. Not a great performance from Tuukka Rask tonight. December's Star of the Month. December 2017's Star of the Month. I feel like I should clarify. So let's swap everybody around. Put Nolan Foote back up on that line. Hines has regressed. Not good. Not good at all. So the tactic of just play everybody, how bad could it be? Well, it might lead to the regression of our best player. And as a result, he could look to leave at some point. So that is a situation that we need to keep our eye on at this point in time. Yikes. Now, see, I knew that was the risk that we were taking if we, went forward with this strategy of just having everybody play. And again, it's just the way the game works this year with the morale system, and I get that. I feel like it was worth the risk, but as we're seeing, as Hines goes down to injury, you know what, that might be for the best at this point. As we're seeing, wow, he is disengaged, isn't he? This is unfortunate. As we're seeing oh my God, man, this series continues to be a roller coaster for me, where 1 second I'm feeling like, hey, we might get the better of the morale system, which has been our biggest hurdle throughout the course of this series so far, more so than missing out on potential draft picks. Our biggest hurdle's been the morale system. And every time, is Flynn's actually 100%, so I can take out Kurdiles every time we start to get ahead of it, I feel like it strikes back with the counterpunch from hell and just ruins my life again. So we'll send down Kerdiles. He's a left wing. I'm going to sit there and check the other two first for absolutely no reason. Just wanted you to know that. We'll go best lines again. And hopefully we can see some progression. If we don't see a ton of progression from these players, then we know that this strategy isn't exactly going to work, which, you know, I mean, some people might say, well, yeah, I could have told you that, but it was at least worth checking. I mean, for how weird this series has been so far, it was at least worth double checking to see if it would work out. And the answer appears to be no, at least in terms of how players react. Even if they don't expect to be anywhere near the NHL, if they're losing games, they can't just, you know, enjoy the fact that they're on an NHL team. They have to be difficult, I guess. That's just going to be the notification from before, right? Yeah, okay, we're good. Hines isn't going to be out for too long, though. I mean, he might be back after this game. Dalton Galley's hurt. That's tremendous. Just more injuries, please. Can't get enough. This has to be a combination, though, of us losing and just the ungodly amount of injuries. I mean, I feel like we were closing in on the draft, if not at the draft, at this point in time in the last episode. And now here we are very much not at the draft. We still have the entire postseason that we need to sim through. Not to mention, you know, we still have some of the regular season to finish, and it's, well, you know, it's taken a little bit to get there, but that's okay. This is a part of the series. This is a part of the journey. I remember asking people during the original Draft to Glory, should I just sim to the end of the season? People said no. People said just stick with it. Go for it. But then again, we never had to deal with this many injuries. Good Lord. Hines is back, though. I mean, he's still down to a 77, which is beyond scary that one of our top players has dropped. Chung has improved, so I guess that's good. Again, I'm going to swap Foot and McDonald. The defense is looking better despite the injuries. I guess that's how it goes. All right, we're good. We are good. We are 2 wins away from the 15 that I thought would be out of reach. Oh my God! Yay. Give me some reprieve here. You are just being relentless and ruthless with the amount of injuries here. Holy hell. My God, we've seen more of this menu than we have of the calendar view. No doubt. Craziness, man. Craziness. So let's see. Again, we'll swap those two around. I feel like we are seeing some improvement, though, from some of these players, so that's good. But Hickett's, Galley, and Primo are all currently out injured. Let's go over to goaltenders. Good old Casimir. Take a seat. And he's the only one that we need to worry about. Sweet. So moving forward, I highly doubt, even though our lineup is technically better, well, there we go. There's one number 14. We might get it. There is a chance that we could hit a glorious 15 wins. I'm not all that confident that that's going to happen, but you never know. Galley and Hickett's are both back. Okay, so we'll send down 2 defensemen. Let's go ahead and do just that. So I almost sent down Hines just because he's down to a 77. Dalton Galley is also quite frustrated with the course of events throughout this season. Let's go ahead and put Delorier there yet again. Well, actually, we'll put him on the third line. We'll put Chung over here. Swap these two. There we go. That's good to go. Best lines. That's fine. Didn't mean to kind of rhyme there, but it happened. Brodeen on goaltending. Good for like 2 minutes until I have to edit the lines again. Can we get that 15th win? Yes, we can. We beat the Calgary Flames 4-2. And somehow, some way, this team has won at least 15 games. Oh my God, yeah, you're killing me. You are literally killing me with this. I have never seen this many injuries in one season. Holy hell, man. This is unreal. This many injuries in one season. And I know it's taking a little bit longer because I keep editing the lines, but it makes sense to do so. It makes sense to set it up with the higher potential players, getting them, that little bit of extra ice time. Even if, who they're actually on a line with is quite inconsistent because of the ungodly amount of injuries. So, there we go. We'll put Brodin back in. How many starts does he have at this point? He has 25 starts. That's not bad. For a 60 overall goalie, that is not too bad. Can we get our 16th win here in one of our final 2 games? Can we beat San Jose? No, but we can get another injury. Tremendous. Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet Jesus. All right. Well, at this point, since the season's over, all we have to do is go best lines with both. It's fine. We don't have to worry about it now. So I suppose that's good, right? We don't actually have to worry about it now when we lost our final 3 games. We, of course, finished last in the conference, which was to be expected. We're going to go ahead and sim to basically the draft. I'll take a look at everything stat-wise once we get to that point. The Gulls didn't make the playoffs either, so let's just straight shot it to the postseason, or through the postseason, and towards the draft. We'll take a look at the stats and all that, and then we'll get down to business, and we'll take it from there. Actually, no, let's stop it right here. Stopping it right here is fine. Junior Hicketts is back from injury anyway, so good for him. It's going to take this a while to load through now, I do suppose, but that's okay. It's all right. There we go. We'll go best lines. We'll stop the sim. Let's take a look at the season that was, and then, of course, once the playoffs are over, we'll look at the awards. So Anderson McDonald with a fairly impressive 46 points. I'm pretty good with that. We'll take a look at our team stats first, though. Of course, we had 15 wins. Oh, let's take a look here. And, of course, it's pretty much a guarantee. I mean, goals for per game, goals against per game, that's always going to be the highest, at least as long as the team is in the shape it's currently in. So McDonald had 46 points, Zanetti with 45s, Graves and Downing on the 4th line had 35 points, 34 for Tokarski, 31 for Nolan Foote. Roberts and Hines were there. I'm very worried about Hines. And I'll just go ahead and scroll through and let you guys look at the rest kind of on your own time here, just because so many players. Like, who managed to play all 82 games? I mean, 6 players. Lyson, Zanetti, Tokarski, McDonald, Ball, and Roberts. That's it. Solani only missed a game, but still, he missed a game. Best plus minus on the team. I mean, it doesn't really factor in. Worst, though, was Matty Solani. Penalty minutes-wise, Dalton Galley with 208, and surprisingly, Reginald Chung only with 38. So Dalton Galley kind of just takes it upon himself to take every goddamn penalty for this team. Hits-wise, I imagine he's the leader. He is. Hines with 131. So Dalton Galley, without a doubt, the captain of this team. Without a doubt, the biggest goon on the team. Blocked shots. Now, see, this would be interesting. Comparing blocked shots, that's actually... Has anybody done that? That would be a really good way to test it. I never thought of that. You go to strategies, you tell people to block shots, and in the next season you tell them to not block shots. Is the number higher? If the number's higher, then yeah, strategies do have an effect in game. I don't know why. I've never thought of that. That is interesting. 142 blocks, though, for Jack Alcock. Also, fights, Dalton Galley with 32, Reggie Chung with 6, and Jake Dodgen actually had 4, even though he has barely played this season. We'll go ahead and look. Galley had the most fights in the league by far. Hits, Tyson Jost. Really? Tyson Jost was the hits leader. Gallagher was up there. Huh. Well, that's a bit disappointing now, isn't it? That is quite disappointing. What about the penalty minutes leader? Hey, attaboy, Dalton Galley. Penalties were down in general. 108 more penalty minutes than the second place guy, Stu Cutler. So I guess penalty minutes just aren't really a thing. Huh. Who knew? We'll take a look at player progression. We'll sim to the end of the postseason. We'll take a look at the winner and the awards, and then we will move on. So, progress reports. Let's take a look here. Hines is an 82. He hasn't gotten better, but of course, current overall is a 77 because of the morale issues. Nolan Foot's now up to a 76. Zanetti went up by a point. Same for Graves. Justice. Roberts went up by 2. Tokarski up by 1. Downing up by 2. Lyson up by 1. Dalton Galley has kind of hit his peak there as a 68 overall. Primo and Ball both went up by 1, as did Alcock. Herdina went up by 3. Chung up by 1. 2-point improvement for Hicketts. Flynn, it's not tremendous. It has to be a morale thing more than anything else. Down in the AHL, Barlow, who spent the year in junior, low top 6, improved by 7 points though. Brodin improved by 2. Zach Aronson, oh my god, improved by 7 points as well. So yeah, send players to junior. Apparently Josh Okoye went up by 2. Warren Gabo went up by 4. 3-point improvement for Kip Rourke. Jesus Beta went up by 1. Jack Gillies went up by 6. Yeah, you know what? I think that's the new strategy. I'm not playing guys in the NHL until they're ready. We're going to officially go by player role from now on. There were some people, don't get me wrong, there were some people already arguing for, hey, just play players by role. There were others who said, nope, just play everybody at the NHL level. Next season, we're going by player role. Because that appears to be the way to go. Neil Green's up to a 51. He was the last player on that list, our medium top 6 enforcer. So a very interesting season for many, many reasons, as we'll finally get to the draft here soon. I don't know if I'll go through the rest of the offseason in this episode. We'll see. Of course, I kind of like that to be the theme, but man, is this episode going to be long if we go through the rest of the offseason. The St. Louis Blues have won the Stanley Cup either over Detroit or the New York Islanders. Suppose we can check. We might as well. Let's take a look at the bracket, and they beat the Islanders in 7 games. We'll go ahead and take a look at the winners. What do the Blues look like? What does a Stanley Cup winning team look like? For forwards, we have Backlund, Bobby Ryan, Kyle Palmieri, Nemesnikov, Brassard, Vander Kane, Pacioretty, Logan Brown, Taylor Radish, Jared McCann, Jason Dickinson, and Patrick Berglund. On defense, it's TJ Brody, Mikhail Sergachev, Jake McCabe, Chris Weidman, Erica Branson, and Dmitry Kulikov. So a little bit of a prior Panther connection there. Sergei Bobrovsky was the goaltender. So not the strongest team that we've ever seen win the Cup, but I suppose I can't be all that surprised. As the Cup returns to the West, it's only been won by a single Eastern Conference team so far this series. We're 5 years in. Tarasenko wins the Art Ross in the Hart. The Norris goes to Drew Doughty. Lady Bing to McDavid. The Calder, though, goes to Anderson McDonald. Holy hell, we've won a piece of hardware that isn't the Masterton. I didn't think we'd see a Calder at all, let alone this early. But Anderson McDonald, our leading scorer, wins the Calder. That is tremendous. And for the first time, the Masterton Award doesn't go to a player on our team. So I guess you can say that in a way, I mean, we are improving. We're still having the issue, though, with the locker room chemistry and the morale system wreaking havoc on this team. McDonald's showing up now as a 79. Actually, I wonder, is it worth going back and looking at the progress reports again? Will there be a major difference now that we've made it to the end of the season? I mean, Zanetti's a 76. Turgeon went up, but he's not really our player, so I suppose it doesn't matter. Here, I'm just going to scroll through. Downing's up to a 70. Yeah, so there is a major difference. I looked way too early. Justice is a 74. Currently showing up as a 73, though. So I'll just scroll through this again, and you guys can let me know if there's anything like too crazy that I may have missed. I do see that Barlow improved by 8 points. Brodin's up to a 61. You had Aronson's and Gabo's fairly ridiculous improvement. Gillies made it up to a 56 So a pretty solid season. And actually, I guess that leaves room for debate. Whether or not we, play guys just on the NHL team, as we did this season, or whether or not we still play certain players depending on what their player role is, as we lost the lottery. Again, I didn't even think. I didn't put two and two together like, oh my God, moment of truth, drum roll, please, here we go. Are we going to win the lottery? I didn't even think. And if anything, I'm happy I didn't put that much hype into it. We dropped to the second pick. And unless the San Jose Sharks make the mistake of a lifetime, as Matt Martin retires, we are going to miss out on a franchise-level player for the second consecutive draft. Or in consecutive drafts, I should say. Wow. That is a heartbreaker, because I just went from, feeling fairly confident, just being like, yeah, what should we do next season? I mean, if there's any, if there's any bright side to this, it's that Lewis is going to be our pick. Spencer Lewis from the Prince George Cougars. I mean, that's the thing. I said it at the end of the last episode. We need to end up with a top 2 player or a top 2 pick, and we did just that. It was either going to be McDonough if we got the number 1 pick, Lewis if we got the number 2 pick, or Marcoux, the goaltender, who could very well be elite. Oh, which honestly, I suppose that does kind of raise the question whether or not we should look for Marcoux, but we do have the other goalie. All right, let's get that confirmation. Oh my God, what? You're kidding me. Oh my God, please, I need to hit the button right now. No fucking way. There's no way. Please let him be franchised. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What the fuck? Oh my God, I've never wished I had face cam more. Oh my God. What just happened? What? Oh my God. What the hell just happened? Oh my God. What the fuck just happened? What? Oh my God. What? I am fucking speechless. Oh my God, how did that just happen? San Jose. Oh my God. What the fuck just happened? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. There's no way that just happened. This can't. There's no fucking way that just happened. Fuck you, New Jersey. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? What? That is the best fucking player I've ever seen drafted. What? Oh my God. Look at his fucking defensive category. 98 hand-eye. My voice won't go down. What the fuck just happened, guys? Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Well, now we have a real dilemma on our hands because we need to make sure we keep Hines, because Hines and McDonough are going to run this damn league. Oh my God. How What? Guys, let's just... It's a moment like this where I wish like I could fake my reaction, just go ridiculously over the top. I am stunned. The San Jose Sharks just passed on a franchise level player who is the best player I have ever fucking seen ever in a draft. I have never. NHL 98, NHL 2004, 2010, 2K6. I have never seen a 92 overall player outside of a fantasy draft. We said that he could be the savior. I don't think anybody expected this. Maybe a 75 overall, but a 92 medium franchise. Oh my God. I cannot believe that just happened. We missed out on the franchise level player last year. Now here's the thing, Marcoux was elite, by the way. Here's the thing, right? I almost want to say, well, imagine if we ended up with both of them, right? The problem is, reality is, we shouldn't have ended up with either of them. The San Jose Sharks just made the biggest fucking mistake in draft history. Nobody can ever take a shot at any YouTuber or Twitch streamer ever again when it comes to franchise mode, because they will never make as big of a mistake as the AI just made when it comes to what, as compared to what the San Jose Sharks just did. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. That is mind-boggling. And we still have more picks to go. Oh my God. If this is a franchise goalie, guys. No way. Stephane Lapointe. Oh my God. He might actually be franchise. I'm gonna just talk very quietly like I'm sneaking up on somebody in the fucking Crocodile Hunter. And by somebody, I mean a creature. Maurer, we'll keep an eye out on him and Briere. And Holt. Oh my God. Please let this goalie be good. It would make up for last year. Lapointe, I'm putting down my controller and hitting the A button. Are you good? Medium starter, 57 overall. I had to do it. I had to go for him. It was too good to be true. I've seen high potential players, high elite potential players. Shit, we took the wrong goalie. In fairness, he's only at 50 though. 57 overall is probably better for us. Cunning would have been a really good pick though, but offensive defenseman, we wouldn't have had that freedom. So be it. Good pick for both Dallas and Edmonton. Whether or not we end up missing out on someone that I really regret, we'll see. I feel like, though, taking the high elite goalie, that was a fair risk. The Penta would have been a good pick. Doubt we would have taken him for how far down. Wow, that is a ridiculous string of players there. We didn't really miss anybody that I totally regret missing out on. We took the risk with the high elite. Didn't end up being that way. That's a 50-50. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It's still a decent player. It's not a complete bust of a pick. Oh my God. This will go down. Maybe not as the most popular video in the history of my channel, but this will go down as the most ridiculous moment in the history of my channel. That nothing could top that. Nothing. I suppose the question here, I mean, that's right, that sniper though, we can't. He's 6'4" though. I could make the exception and change him over to a power forward. I could do that. Cheated a little bit. Briere we'd probably pass on though. Holt I'd also pass up on. Let's see, these two here, and then this is the last guy I wanted to check. So I'll make the exception. I will go after Maurer in probably the 6th round. It's just, do I go for Aubry here? Another goaltender. I have quite a few goalies already, to the point where I'd almost be risking trading a goalie sooner rather than later. Oh my god. I cannot believe that just happened. So for the rest of the draft, I'm going to try to stick to the player types we've been targeting. Just because I am going to break, not necessarily break the rule, but I am going to go after the other guy in the 7th round, Mauer, or whatever the hell his name was. Defensive D-man and Lettinen. Now I guarantee there will be somebody half decent here in this 3rd to 4th round deal. I already took the risk once. Bob Aubry. Or do I go for one of the enforcers? I feel like I have to take the risk again. But I feel like with low league interest, he's going to be a very low overall, and it won't matter anyway. So I'm either going with the enforcer, the power forward, Johan Jonsson. Do we go for the... You know what? I pass on finished defensemen, I pass on finished defensemen all the time. I'm going for Kai Lettinen. Defensive D-man. Let's see if we have any luck. Nah, we didn't, damn it. Alright, so that pick was a bit of a bust. The 2nd round pick was a bit rough. It wasn't an outright disaster, unless I was right, and one of the players I passed on ends up being, like, crazy good. Which I suppose could still happen. Kilhoma ended up being a fairly decent pick there for the Lightning. Long was also a strong pick. I cannot believe... I can't get over that, and you can't blame... Fuck. Campbell was good. Should have gone with the enforcer. Should have stuck to my guns. Medium top 4, 59 overall. He would have been a very solid pick. Aubry, in fairness, wasn't tremendous either. Either enforcer would have been a great pick. Both medium top 4. Alright, so I kind of went with my gut, knowing that I kind of assumed both enforcers would be medium top 6. I was wrong, and I paid for it. So that is unfortunate, but nothing can really kind of ruin my night right now. Guy Boutin might very well be the next pick. This power forward, Clint Arnott, is a solid pick. And it's pretty much what we're looking at here, isn't it? Yeah, it is what we're looking at. Okay. So, I'm going to go power forward. Clint Arnott from the Calgary Hitmen. Let's go for him. Clint, how good are you, buddy? Not at all. 59 overall. All right, well, it's another body, at least, as we get closer to having just players that we've drafted. As we'll take a look here and see if there are any kind of crazy steals. Oh, my God. Yeah, I can't go through the rest of this episode. There's no way. There's no way. I should cut the video. Oh, my God. Well, I said there wasn't anything that could ruin the rest of this episode for me. That comes close. Nordstrom. I don't even remember seeing his name on the list, though. So I feel like that was a slightly off-the-board pick. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but was that the power forward I was considering between? No, I took the power forward. Yeah, so he was a 5th-round projected pick because it was Arnott and that defensive D-man. Wherever the hell he is. Where the hell are you, buddy? Boutin. So that was an off-the-board pick. I was looking 4th to 5th. He was projected to go 5th round, so I can't be too mad at myself for that pick. It was an off-the-board pick that paid off for the AI. So that's nice to know. We have a grinder here, Rodney Thompson. 20 years old, overager. That could be a good sign. Defensive D-man and George Lombardi. Another defensive D-man in Cedric Swanson. Power forward in Wayne Turco. Another grinder in Tim Smith-Pelly. Another grinder in Troy Beneral. Damn, who else do we got here? 5th to 6th round, defensive D-man. We have Kimmo Kampainen. Talk about regretting not taking finished defenseman. I have a feeling that guy's going to be the one that I regret not taking. Right, okay. So, we have Kampainen and the shitload of grinders in the one power forward in Turco. Kampainen, Lombardi. Do I go for a grinder. Rodney Thompson was 20, so he's an overager. What else are we dealing with? Smith Pelly at 19 and Benaral. No league interest on those two, but there is league interest in Thompson, and for that reason I'm going with Thompson. Hopefully I don't regret it. Medium top 9, 64 overall is a fairly decent pick, admittedly. That's solid for a grinder. He should become, could become a fourth line staple for us, much like we saw grinders do in the original Draft to Glory, if anyone remembers Zontag. Medium top 6, 64. All right, so a decent stretch. Lombardi and Swanson were nothing too special. Benaral would have been a slightly worse pick than what we ended up with. Kemppainen would have been another fairly bad pick. Turco wasn't anything special. Smith Pelly was decent. And that might do it for players we had eligible. Good pick there for Detroit. Very good pick for the St. Louis Blues. All right, we have 2 rounds left in what is, by default, the best draft in the history of my channel. Oh my god, and we've had some incredible drafts. Feel free to go back and watch the Vancouver series from NHL 16 if you're not familiar. We have had some unreal drafts. Now, in an effort to try and save this, I'm going to take the risk with me. You know what? I'm going to take the risk maybe with both Briere and Maurer, and I'll change them over. No, I can't. I mean, Briere, that's the thing, though. I have a feeling Briere is going to be great. He doesn't fit the theme size-wise or player type-wise. He's not going to be a goon under any stretch of the imagination. Maurer, though, at least has the size where he could end up being a goon. We're going to take him. I'm expecting low top 9. Let's see what happens. Low elite, 55 overall. Again, we'll change him to a power forward. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see what we passed up on. Brindamore would have been an option. Olsen would have been an option. So far, so good. Holt was another guy there who was looking halfway decent. He ended up being just meh. Ended up being alright. Shovel Dave. You know what? I'm just going to breeze through this. Let me know. I'm mainly looking at overall. Let me know if I missed out on anything too crazy potential-wise. I'm just looking at the overall numbers there as we scroll through. Last round. And then I'm stunned. I'm struggling for words here. We'll see who we go with next. And honestly, our options are kind of off the board. I could go for Verbata. Again, he doesn't fit the bill, though. Which means the other guy that we were contemplating taking is also off the board. High top 9 grinder. Scouted him 3 times, no league interest. This guy, though, low top 9, high league interest. Do we go for Vajiholahi, or do we go for Sugren? And I mentioned, I think it was, I can't remember the first guy's name, Zontag. We had luck with Swedish grinders in the last series. We're taking Sugren. Medium bottom 6. 64 overall, though, which isn't too bad. I didn't mean to skip. Oh, that's right, we have an extra 7th. Well, thank God, because I was about to be pissed off at myself for skipping through. I did just see a low elite in there. Numanen would have been slightly worse. Ekblad, of course, we knew wasn't great. Defensive D-man and Alexi. Good pick there for Calgary. Did we miss out on anything too great? Yes, we picked the better guy. We did take the better guy. So that's good. Great steal for Ottawa. Medium top 6 and Pielmeyer. Solid pick for them. We have 1 pick left in this draft. I forgot about the extra 7th rounder. Let's see what we can do with it. We have Helmerson. Who else do we have here? That's actually still projected to be drafted, I guess. And then we get into our enforcers that we, can assume aren't great. I'm thinking Helmerson's the guy. He at least still has league interest. Not like that guarantees anything. I want to sort this out by league interest, though, just to take a look. And we'll see if we can find anybody here. So we have Cowan. High top 6, projected to be undrafted. I might take a risk with that guy. I'm assuming he's going to be medium 7th. I mean, you also have this guy here, Harvey Janes, who isn't looking to be great. You got this guy here. We scouted him 7 times, though, so you'd like to think we know he's going to be a bust. Lucas Wright would be a shot in the dark as a grinder. Yarvainen would be shot in the dark. 20 years old, though. 20 years old for Yarvainen. Cowan could be great. Yarvainen has a strong chance of being low elite, if not better. Maybe even medium elite. A lot of league interest guys left here. We have Hagelin. Stefan Hagelin is there. Helmerson is available. Torsten Helmerson. Still with high league interest. You have Will Cousins. All right. And the last guy is Taves. There's also a Van Kadishin. I'm going to call this timeout, although I think we're going to go with the high top 6 defensemen. And we're just going to kind of hope that it works out. It's a shot in the dark pick. We're just going to hope for the best, and maybe, just maybe, we can end this draft on a high note, although Verbata is still there, and he doesn't have any league interest, but at high top 4. He didn't fit the bill, though, did he? Yeah, that's why he's still there. That's why we didn't take him yet. We're going for Cowan. Ethan Cowan is the selection. Low top 655 overall. All right. Worth the risk. It didn't quite pan out. Let's go ahead and sim through. Helmerson wouldn't have been any better. Toronto takes Sweetland. Fucale was a very strong pick at the time for Nashville. As we go through these last couple of picks, Zajac was a really strong pick there as well. Final pick goes to the Blues, and they go with Schoenmakers, who is not that tremendous. The most shocking moment in the history of at least this channel. I don't know if anything else equates to that. You know, the YouTube community, the NHL community on YouTube has been a thing for a very long time. I don't know. I shudder to think at what could possibly measure up to a team passing on a 92 overall franchise level player. What could possibly measure up to that? Guys, I thank you for watching. I can't possibly record more. We'll go through the off season in the next episode. I thank you for watching. You know what you can do to support the video, the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bell, all that happy horse shit. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Holy mother of just, oh my God.